The Partition of India in 1947 remains one of the most significant and heart-wrenching events in modern history. It marked the end of British colonial rule in the Indian subcontinent and led to the creation of two independent nations, India and Pakistan. However, this monumental event was accompanied by unparalleled violence, mass displacement, and enduring legacies of division that still shape the subcontinent today. To understand the partition, we must delve into its historical, political, and social underpinnings. The roots of the partition can be traced back to the British colonial rule that began in the 18th century. The British East India Company, followed by the British Crown, exploited the diversity of India, implementing policies that often exacerbated existing communal divisions. One of the most notable tools of colonial rule was the policy of divide and rule. By fostering divisions between Hindus and Muslims, the British sought to weaken Indian unity and solidify their control over the vast subcontinent. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, nationalist movements began to emerge, challenging British authority. The Indian National Congress, founded in 1885, became a prominent platform for anti-colonial resistance, bringing together leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, and Subhas Chandra Bose. However, while the Congress initially aimed to represent all Indians, religious and cultural differences within its leadership and membership began to surface. Parallel to the Congress, the All India Muslim League was established in 1906 to represent the interests of Muslims in the subcontinent. The League's formation highlighted growing concerns among Muslims about their political and cultural identity in a predominantly Hindu society. Leaders like Muhammad Ali Jinnah began to advocate for separate political safeguards for Muslims, arguing that their unique identity might be overshadowed in a united India. The idea of Pakistan, a separate nation for Muslims, gradually took shape in the early 20th century. The two-nation theory, as it came to be known, posited that Hindus and Muslims were distinct nations, each deserving self-determination. While this concept resonated with some segments of the Muslim population, others, including leaders like Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, opposed it, believing in a pluralistic and united India. World War II served as a turning point in the push for independence. The war had strained British resources, and the Quit India movement of 1942 further intensified Indian demands for freedom. However, the war also deepened communal divides, as the Muslim League strengthened its call for a separate homeland. The 1946 cabinet mission, sent by the British to negotiate India's independence, failed to reconcile the differences between the Congress and the Muslim League, setting the stage for partition. The final decision to divide India was made in 1947, with Lord Louis Mountbatten, the last Viceroy of India, overseeing the process. Mountbatten's plan, known as the Mountbatten Plan, proposed the creation of two independent dominions, India and Pakistan. The borders of the two nations were to be drawn by a boundary commission led by Cyril Radcliffe, a British lawyer with little knowledge of Indian geography or society. Radcliffe's task was Herculean and fraught with challenges. He had just 5 weeks to demarcate the boundaries of India and Pakistan, considering factors like religious demographics, historical significance, and economic assets. The Radcliffe Line, as it came to be known, divided the provinces of Punjab and Bengal, both of which had substantial Hindu, Muslim, and Sikh populations. The decisions were made hastily, leaving many regions divided along arbitrary lines and sowing seeds of discontent. On August 14, 1947, Pakistan was declared an independent nation, followed by India on August 15th. The celebrations of independence were overshadowed by the grim realities of partition. The announcement of the Radcliffe Line triggered one of the largest migrations in human history. Millions of Hindus and Sikhs fled from regions that became part of Pakistan, while Muslims migrated from India to Pakistan. It is estimated that between 10 and 15 million people were displaced during this period. The mass migration was accompanied by unspeakable violence. Religious tensions boiled over, leading to communal riots, massacres, and acts of brutality. Entire villages were wiped out, trains carrying refugees were attacked, and women became targets of horrific violence, including abduction and assault. The partition left an estimated 1 to 2 million people dead, and countless others scarred by the trauma. Amidst the chaos, there were stories of resilience and humanity. Some individuals and communities risked their lives to protect those of other faiths, offering shelter and safe passage. These acts of kindness, though overshadowed by the larger violence, remain a testament to the enduring spirit of compassion. The partition also had profound political and social repercussions. The princely states of India, which were semi-autonomous under British rule, faced the dilemma of choosing between India and Pakistan, or remaining independent. The integration of these states into the two nations led to further conflicts, most notably in Kashmir, a princely state with a Muslim-majority population but a Hindu ruler. The dispute over Kashmir escalated into the First Indo-Pak War in 1947–48 and continues to be a contentious issue to this day. Economically, the partition disrupted trade networks and industries. Punjab and Bengal, divided between the two nations, faced the brunt of the economic fallout. Families were uprooted, businesses were lost, and the subcontinent's economy had to be rebuilt in the aftermath of the division. The human cost of partition went beyond the immediate violence and displacement. Families were torn apart, friendships were severed, and a shared cultural heritage was fragmented. The trauma of partition left deep scars on the psyche of the people, many of whom carried the pain of separation and loss for the rest of their lives. Writers, filmmakers, and artists have since attempted to capture these experiences, bringing stories of partition to the forefront of public consciousness. The creation of India and Pakistan also marked the beginning of a complex and often adversarial relationship between the two nations. The wounds of partition have been compounded by subsequent wars, territorial disputes, and political tensions. Both nations have grappled with challenges of identity, governance, and development, shaped in part by the legacies of 1947. Despite the divisions, there have been efforts to bridge the gap between India and Pakistan. Cultural exchanges, people-to-people initiatives, and shared histories have occasionally served as reminders of the common bonds that once united the subcontinent. However, these efforts have often been overshadowed by political rivalries and mutual mistrust. The partition of India continues to be a subject of reflection and debate. Some view it as an inevitable consequence of irreconcilable differences, while others see it as a tragic outcome of colonial manipulation and political failure. The lessons of partition underscore the importance of understanding and addressing the complexities of identity, religion, and politics in multi-ethnic societies. As we reflect on the partition, it is crucial to honor the memory of those who suffered and to learn from the past. The stories of resilience and humanity amidst the horrors of 1947 remind us of the enduring capacity for compassion and solidarity. At the same time, the continued tensions between India and Pakistan highlight the need for dialogue, understanding, and reconciliation. The partition of India was not just the division of land, but the division of hearts, cultures, and histories. It reshaped the destiny of millions and left a legacy that continues to influence the subcontinent and the world. As we remember this pivotal moment, let us strive to build a future that honors the lessons of the past and paves the way for peace and unity.